Good morning, family. Just wanted to share some thoughts on wisdom that I extracted from observing this plant right here. And I shared with my son as a way of encouraging him to keep up the fight, and keep moving. He had been taken out of society for a while. And as he re entered society, uh, it was difficult and challenging to get back to any kind of normalcy and seeking employment and the things that comes along with the stigma of incarceration or being formerly incarcerated and whatnot. So I was seeking to encourage him, from a father to a son. And I thought about this plant right here. I had planted quite a few pepper seeds in this plant, in this pot. And I took most of them out and planted them outside and left three of them in here. Now, my youngest son, actually had a school assignment by way of cyber schooling where they had to uh, plant a seed and watch it sprout and watch it grow and different things. So we kind of took one of them out of here, one of the three, and put it in a little Dixie cup and took it upstairs let it sit in front of the camera for his classroom to see, and then set it in the windowsill out in that room and watered it every day and this and that. Um, and then after that class was over, after about a week or two, we brought it back downstairs and replanted it with the other two. And what we discovered and what you can witness is that plant, the one that I'm speaking of, is this one right here, this tall one. And you see that it actually has a pepper on it. Now, this is the one that had been taken out of its environment and put into a much more restrictive confinement in a totally different place for a set amount of time. And when it came back to its environment, you can see that it's thriving more than the other two that it stayed put and was comfortable and remained comfortable in the environment that it had originally been planted. And I thought about that and how profound of a lesson that was, because something happened with this one being moved out of its environment, put into a smaller space, taken away for a particular amount of time. It had to fight more. It had to go through some things as a matter of survival. These other two continue to get its nourishment, its water every day, and it had room to grow, but there was comfort in there. And for whatever reason, you can see this one right here is still relatively small. It's all of the leaves are there, but look, it's small. And this one has grown, particularly over the past couple of days. It has grown, but it's not bearing any fruit yet. You don't see anything. But the one that went through the most stress, the one that was taken away for a particular amount of time, is the one that is growing and now thriving. So sometimes we don't understand why things happen to us, but everything has its reason and everything has its purpose. Now, had it not been for this one right here being moved out of its place of comfort, its comfort zone, and being made to fight harder for its survival, uh, it may have found a level of comfort that would not have allowed it to grow in the way that it has. and bear the fruit that it now has. I could take this right here, the fruit of this plant. I could take that pepper right there, slice that open. There are probably about 20 seeds inside of there, which can then be put into this environment right here, put into this ground or the earth, and grow 20 more. So you're looking at infinity, but infinity that was instigated and brought into fruition by way of stress, by way of pressure, by way of what appeared to be unfair. Why are you taking me from my home? Why did I have to go upstairs and be put in a Dixie cup? Why did I have to be sit on a desk for a while and everybody looking at me, like I'm some kind of experiment or something? But then look at the result. It's the only one that has grown to the magnitude that it has. So as I was sharing that lesson with my son, I saw this story in my own life. And I'm sure as you're hearing it, you saw it, because something has happened in your life that seems so unfair. Everybody has this and you were taken away from that. Everybody went to this party and you weren't invited. Everybody did this and you weren't there to do that. Everybody had some kind of normal life and yours was abnormal. And because of that, look what you are. And you may not know, because you, like myself, may have been wallowing in self-pity for so long. Or like my son, lamenting over the time lost or the opportunities that seem to not be there anymore, that you don't see the blessing in the lesson. So may this be encouragement for all of us to find that value in yourself and embrace your struggle. Whatever you're going through, ask yourself why. Then ask yourself why not. Because asking why me is the easy question. Asking why not me is the most empowering of the two questions. Why not? Why was I chosen to go through my trials and tribulations? Why not me? Apparently the Most High chose me to go through what I went through because there was something for me to learn, some strength for me to gather from it. Some wisdom, some encouragement, some strength. and if I can identify that and embrace that, perhaps just like this plant right here, I too will bear fruit, and so will you. So what's your fruit that is waiting to come forth after you understand and realize what your trials and tribulations have chiseled you into? You have a superpower based on you being the one that went through only what you went through. That makes you super in some sense. And it's just up to you to find that superpower. Just like it was up to this plant to find its strength to keep fighting. And once it was put back in its environment, its strength, its growth was manifested and identified and seen, and we are all witnessing the fruit of that growth. Thank you, and may you find this lesson helpful in your possession. This lesson's a blessing. Peace.